Hello there, everybody, and welcome back to Murdered Soul Suspect. In the last episode, we were just starting to explore the apartment building. We're going to make our way up to the 4th floor where we were pushed out of the window. So we just started by getting a couple of collectibles and by helping one of the ghosts that were in trouble. And I forgot to mention when I was playing last time that this entire game operates on autosaves, which can make some problems for recordings, just because if I screw up, I can't really go back. So for example, I didn't go up to the 2nd floor and trigger the next cutscene, so I stopped the game, and as you can see, the collectibles we picked up are still counting as collected. There was this poster here, there was this book here, and there were also a few water tank type collectibles, and these all stayed in my game as being collected, but me helping the ghost girl didn't go through. So just keep that in mind if you're playing along with me at home, or you're just wondering about maybe some progress that you may have lost. It's probably just because the game operates on autosaves and you may have quit the game too early. But I'm not too worried. We pretty much got everything there was to get on the 1st floor. So we're going to make our way up to the 2nd floor, but before you do, turn around and make sure to reveal your next water cooler.
Hey, how the hell did it come back? Did I do that? Hey, come back!
Those notes aren't for you.
Great. Looks like some sort of code or something. Alright, well, I made it up to the 4th floor before the police cart away the evidence.
Well, she left it here, so, I mean, it could be for me. But I think the reason that she drew these was to kind of nod you off to make sure you're looking out for these. This is a new collectible, and these are probably the hardest collectible in the game to get. You can see on the wall, there's a very, very, very faint glow of a drawing, and I can reveal it for the collectible.
Justice and injustice.
So there are 23 of these in the game, and they are very, very well hidden. I think anybody who's played this game would probably tell you that they are the hardest collectible to find. There is another one in the apartment building, so we're going to keep an eye out for that. This apartment here doesn't have anything, but it has a ghost in the closet that you can question if you'd like to. And questioning a ghost will get you an achievement. However, there are plenty of opportunities to do that, so you can skip that apartment altogether if you're not looking for collectibles. In apartment 2A, we have another one of our story collectibles, our little mini story for the apartment level. And I do believe that those are the only few things that we have on this floor.
All right.
But we will quickly check that apartment. And I think these are actually the only two on the floor are 2A and 2B. I was going backwards there, so really only the one collectible and then the drawing. And now we're going to get our tutorial on how to run away from and avoid demons. So we want to avoid detection by hiding inside ghost souls, which are these little silhouettes that we've been seeing all around the levels so far. And the best thing to do when you're hiding in these corpses is to jump from place to place. And if you do that, it'll throw the demons off of your trail a little bit. It forces them to look around for you, and if they don't know where you are, they'll basically give up and leave. And another helpful hint that the game just gave us is to look through walls. Now this ghost here is a tutorial ghost demon, so he's not going to turn around for us at all. We can run right up to this guy and we can try to execute him. You'll get a prompt when you are close to the demons, and then you can exorcise them, get rid of them, and that's pretty much it. As we move on to the third floor here, I do believe that there are going to be a few demons. There's 2 of them. So we want to get rid of these guys before we begin any sort of major exploration. So it's a fairly simple process to get rid of these guys. And a lot of the time, as long as you sort of know their pathing, I totally screwed up the buttons there. I pressed B instead of A. But just to show you, as an example, if that happens to you, you can go ahead, hop around corpses, and eventually he'll get tired of searching for me and he'll run off, and I can try to exorcise him again. And usually the music will die down, which is a really good indication that the demon has given up, and they will also go back to their original location. All the demons seem to have a bit of a patrol line where they will kind of patrol in the same area. They don't tend to see you very well through walls, even though you can see them. And once you've destroyed those 2 demons, you are now free to explore this floor. There's a collectible lying right here on the ground for us to collect, and that is one of Julia's thoughts. So we can get some collectibles about our wife. And there's quite a few of those, actually, in total for us to collect. We can go into this apartment here, which is where I think we had run from the demons. And there's a couple in bed reading, and there is another one of the ghost drawings on the wall here. You can see it. It's very, very faint.
When death comes, it will never be alone.
And I think that's the only thing that's in that apartment. But you'll want to make sure to grab those just because they are so hard to see, and I had to follow a guide to search for those.
This is by far the worst birthday party.
There's another collectible here in the corner of these 2 guys in their kitchen having a party.
Party, maybe?
Cool. You could drive to Boston.
Drive to Boston.
And we're just checking the apartment for anything else that might be in here. This first level has very, very few collectibles. It's mostly just an introductory level to teach us some tutorial and to get us used to the game's controls and whatnot. So there's not really a lot that we have to actually get used to. And I think there's about 2 apartments on every single floor. And so far we've kind of looked at all of them. So now we can move on to the 4th floor.
Okay, folks. I need you to keep your distance from the scene here.
What happened up here?
I'm afraid that's still under investigation.
Guy got thrown out of a window. We're still looking at the details.
So you can see that they've cordoned off the apartment, which is perfect because that means that we can go in and have a look. There is another collectible there. And when you're ready, you can go into the 4th floor apartment and we can begin to do a little bit more investigating.
Hey, Broyles, you seen that little girl that lives here? If she turns up, you come find me. Got it?
gave me that gun.
What was the killer doing here in the first place? What did I miss?
So we have quite a few clues in this apartment. We have 14 in total. Most of them are fairly obvious. We once again have the crime scene markers. And remembering that when we do an investigation, we'll have writing that goes over top of the clue for a little bit, just to remind us that we've already looked in an area. So right now I'm just kind of looking at all the markers here and marking these off because these are all fairly obvious. And these are all sort of markers of Ronan's struggle with the killer. Things like the police tape around the window, an area where it looks like he was slammed into a wall, signs of a struggle, and then his weapon that he had left at the scene. There's also a silhouette of somebody over here, which we can reveal. What was the killer doing? And all you really have to do is just look for words that match up and make sense. So it looks like he was looking for something if he's going into the closet. And he was probably doing this with a purpose. So once you've found the right combination of words, they will combine and you will get yourself a clue. In the next room here, we have a few collectibles. We have another one of Julia's thoughts. In the corner is a bag, which is another clue for us. And in this corner of the room, there's another clue as well of some drawings. So we are already halfway done. Let's go back into the main room here. If you'd like to, you can go into the bathroom, and in here is our final collectible for our Watery Grave side story, and you can look at that through the menu if you'd like to. But there's nothing towards the investigation in the bathroom. I just wanted to grab that before I forgot. Let's go into the bedroom here. And we can see that there is another silhouette of a person. So it's a young girl. She looks like she's hiding. Obviously, I'm gonna guess from the killer. She's watching out for him, and she looks very frightened. So she was a witness to the crime and she saw the whole thing. Definitely gonna have to be somebody that we possibly track down if we're able to. There is a book here on the table. So we are at 9 of 14. In the kitchen, this is a clue, but it is also a collectible here on the table.
I don't know how this will end. The killer is an enigma to the police and a lurking shadow in my own life. If only I can keep Joy from harm, I would do anything, even push her away, if it meant pushing her to safety.
And then on the kitchen counter here is another clue. So this is, I guess, one of the people that live here, Cassandra Foster. This is the same Cassandra Foster who occasionally works with the Salem PD as a psychic consultant. So that's all very interesting. And if you take a look around the apartment and you try to figure out more clues, you might be baffled as to how we have 10 out of 14 and yet we are not able to gather any more clues. When this happens, what you're going to want to do is go into the menu for connecting clues, and you should be able to connect clues together to get yourself another clue. So in this case, we're going to connect the killer with the witness.
Turn around. You're under arrest. So that's what I walked in on. Was he after the girl? Where'd she go?
So that gives us another clue and kind of completes a little bit more of the puzzle. We can actually see the final struggle that Ronan had with the killer. And if we come over to this police officer here looking at these photographs, we want to have a look, but we're not able to because his hand is covering it. So we can go ahead and take possession of his body and then choose the influence option. And in order to have him move the photo, we're going to pick the obscured photos clue.
Should get this photo to Rex for that Amber Alert.
And then we can focus in on the pictures finally, and we can hear a bell ringing, which we can associate with a church. And so the picture you're going to want to pick is the picture with the priest.
Father, do you have anywhere that I could stay just for a little bit?
Oh, of course, dear. The church is always your to help.
And that's it. We have all 14 clues. We pieced together the whole thing, and we can now conclude the investigation when you're ready to leave.
Out the window. Gunned me down in the street and you didn't even check for witnesses? Like you're untouchable. That girl is my only lead. I need to find her.
So the first part of our investigation is done, and now that we have an open window, we are free to leave the apartment from the window because we're not able to go back the way that we came. But if there's anything else you feel like you have missed in the apartment building, you are still free to explore the area demon-free. If you're missing any sort of collectibles or anything like that, keep in mind that you can come back to the apartments at any time, but it is probably most convenient to do that now just because there is really no other reason to come back here otherwise. Next time we will head out the window and we will go ahead and try and chase after our witness. Thank you all so very much for watching, and I hope that I will see you next time.